Hey, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Pro Wrestling Talk brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram, coming at you here on the U to the Tube. So, finally got around to watching Wrestle Kingdom 16 Night 3 that took place in the Yokohama Arena, which was the New Japan Pro Wrestling versus Pro Wrestling Noah show. So just kind of wanted to give my thoughts on this show. I finally got a chance to watch it on NJPW World. It took about a week or so, but finally got around to it. So let's just talk about the matches. So we had the opening match was Kosei Fujita versus Yatsutaka Yano, which this is pretty much Young Lion New Japan Pro Wrestling versus the Young Lion equivalent of Pro Wrestling Noah type of match. And surprisingly, this match ended in a draw. I did not expect that. I don't think I've ever seen a opening match like that end in a draw. I was really shocked. But it looked like I said, it was pretty even between both these wrestlers. I know I'm not that familiar with either of these two. I know Kosei Fujita is one of the newer Young Lions, but I actually thought this was a good match. And you know what? Maybe it made sense that it ended in a draw. I was pretty surprised, but hey, both looked good. Both looked good, so I can't really complain. Next up, we had a couple of veterans in the six-man tag. We had Yuji Nagata, Satoshi Kojima, and Hiroyoshi Tenzan of New Japan Pro Wrestling going up against Akitoshi Saito, King Tani, and Mohamed Yone of Pro Wrestling Noah. And like I said, really the only wrestler on the Noah side that I knew was Mohamed Yone. But pretty much this is like the equivalent of like two brands, two promotion with a group of legends going at it. And of course, New Japan Pro Wrestling's legends, veterans, won. Of course, Satoshi Kojima got the lariat, the cozy lariat, on King Tani. But I mean, it was a pretty decent match. It was a pretty decent match. But I'm not too surprised that New Japan Pro Wrestling side won this match. So those were the two opening matches. So the first official main card match, this was a 10-man tag. So it's pretty wild. It was really wild. It was Master Wato, Ryusuke Taguchi, Yoshihashi, Hiroki Goto, and Tomohiro Ishii of New Japan Pro Wrestling going up against Pro Wrestling Noah's Kenya Okada, Yoshiki Inamura, Daiki Inaba, Hajime Ohara, and Daisuke Harada. This was a pretty wild match. Like, everybody was involved. Everybody was involved. And like I said, I'm not familiar with the guys on Pro Wrestling Noah, so I was pretty much cheering for the New Japan Pro Wrestling side. And of course, you know, I'm a big Hiroki Goto fan, so any side he's on, I'm all for. But I did not expect Yoshihashi to get the victory for the team. Actually got a submission victory via Boston Crab. I was like, what? That's kind of weird. But hey, you know, I like what they're doing with Yoshihashi. It's just good to see him like actually get some wins for the team and such. You know what I mean? Because for the longest time he couldn't even do that. But Yoshihashi has definitely evolved, and he's definitely shown that, you know, he can be pushed. So I can dig that. The next match that we had was singles match. New Japan Pro Wrestling Show from House of Torture going up against Noah's Atsushi Kotoge. Honestly, this was probably one of the few matches that I really just wasn't feeling. I wasn't really feeling this match, and it wasn't really that long of a match. Because, I mean, you know what's going to happen. Show, House of Torture, they're going to cheat. And sure enough, it happened. And it was just, it was an easy prediction, an easy victory for Show. But it wasn't really an intriguing match. Because, I mean, it's like I knew what was going to happen. They were going to cheat. They were going to do all sorts of shenanigans to cheat. And it's just, I just wasn't that intrigued by the match, personally. Next up, we had a tag match. We had New Japan Pro Wrestling's Gato and Taiji Ishimori, the Bullet Club, going up against Noah's Seki Yoshioka and Hayata. Wasn't a long match at all. And as a matter of fact, I figured Gato was going to be the weak link. And sure enough, he's the one that got pinned by Hayata. Another match wasn't that long. As a matter of fact, this might have been the shortest match on the card. But yeah, it wasn't that long. But yeah, being that Gato was in the match, which I don't think I've seen Gato on the winning side in a long time. So I figured, Gato's wrestling. That team, Bullet Club's probably going to lose. And sure enough, that's what happened. So it's all good, though, but not surprised at the outcome. Next up, you had another tag team match. You had Suzuki Gun's El Desperado and Doki going up against Noah's Nosawa Rungai and Yohei. Those two I definitely don't know. But, I mean, it was a pretty good match. It was definitely a pretty good match. I did like the finish, the Pinche Loco finish after reversal. So I thought that was pretty cool. But Suzuki Gun looking strong in this match. And I was actually pretty impressed with Doki. Doki was doing some pretty sweet stuff. He's not one that I really pay that much attention to. But Doki, he can do some stuff now. Doki's actually pretty cool. I'm starting to take more of a liking to Doki. Next up, we had a 6-man tag. We had more Suzuki Gun in action. Had Taka Michinoku, Minoru Suzuki, and Taichi going up against Noah's Katsushi Sakuraba, Takeshi Sugiura. And even though they were supposed to have Kenta, due to injury, Kenta was replaced by New Japan Pro Wrestling's Toru Yano. So Toru Yano ended up joining their team and in place of Kenta. And this was an interesting match. Like, I didn't expect Toru Yano to be the replacement, but he got along well with the rest of the Pro Wrestling Noah team, and sure enough, of course, Taka Michinoku took the pin, which Taka Michinoku, since his return, has not looked good. He's been on the losing end consistently. So, yeah, that wasn't too surprising of an outcome. If anything, the surprise was Toru Yano was the replacement. Not who I would have thought of, but hey, it's all good. Next up, we had a tag team match. This I actually did enjoy. This was House of Torture's Dick Togo and Evil going up against Noah's Go Shiozaki and Masa Kitamiya, which, I do like Go Shiozaki. So, of course, I was rooting for Pro Wrestling Noah. And sure enough, they were able to get the victory. Go Shiozaki with a nice lariat, taking out Dick Togo and getting the pin. But it was good to see him in action. It's been a long time since I've seen him in action. Because like I said, I haven't consistently kept up with Pro Wrestling Noah, but I do remember Go Shiozaki. So was glad to see him in action again. And hey, sure enough, got the victory for the team. A match I definitely enjoyed. The next match was another tag team match, and I enjoyed this one even more. And this was a good length, too. Suzuki Gun, Zack Sabre Jr., and Yoshinobu Kanemaru went up against Yoshinari Ogawa and one of my faves out of Pro Wrestling Noah, Naomichi Marufuji. I was bummed that during his entrance he didn't wear a mask. I'm so used to seeing him wear a mask for his entrance. And he didn't have one, so I was really bummed out at that. But that was really the only negative that I could think of for this match. I thought the match was great. I definitely enjoyed it. And Naomichi Marufuji hit a nice shiranui, or sliced bread, wherever you want to call it, to get the victory. But I've always liked him. I loved his rivalry with Kenta. And they were also tag team partners as well. So definitely big fan of Naomichi Marufuji. So, yeah, still good to see him in Pro Wrestling Noah, still doing his thing. So, hey, match I definitely enjoyed. Next, we had a big showdown. Another 10-man tag. We had all of LIJ. So that's Bushi, Hiromu Takahashi, Sanada, Tetsuya Naito, and Shingo Takagi going up against Noah's Aleja Tadasuke, Manobu Soya, Ken Noah, and Katsuhiko Nakajima. This was a pretty intense showdown between these two teams, and of course, you know, I was LIJ all the way because you know I'm a big LIJ fan. But this was actually a pretty lengthy match, and as expected. I mean, there's a lot of people in this match because I mean, if you look back at the previous 10-man match, you know, the first one on the card, it was only about 11 minutes, but this one was like a good 26, 25 minutes. So I'm glad that they really doubled, you know, with the length of this. And sure enough, Shingo Takagi got the victory for the team with a Last of the Dragon. And, you know, it was good to see them continue to keep him strong despite losing the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. But yeah, LIJ, strong, on top in this match. So definitely was digging it. But both teams did really well. And then the main event, which was a pretty big main event. So you had Hiroshi Tanahashi and Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada teamed up. The United States, IWG United States champion and the IWGP World champ teaming up to take on Noah's Kiyomiya Kaito and my all-time favorite wrestler, the GOAT, Keiji Muto, alias the Great Muta, who is still, I tell you, for his age, he still can go in the ring, which, if I remember correctly, I believe he turns 60 this year. Yeah, so he turns 60 this December. So December of this year, he turns 60. So he's 59 now, but this coming December, he will be 60 years old. It's crazy. And I know that Sting, I believe, is already in his 60s. One of my favorite rivalries. I believe Sting is 61 or 62. But yeah, it is just great to still see these two legends go in the ring. I mean, shoot, Sting just recently had a match with the Acclaimed, him and Darby Allin, and Sting still getting the job done, still doing those table spots and all that, just all over the place. So got to give mad kudos for these legends still going strong at the age that they're at. And this match was no disappointment. And, you know, this was big, you know, to see, you know, Keiji Muto go up against the likes of Hiroshi Tanahashi, who's not that young, and Kazuchika Okada, you know, still in their prime. So I thought he did great. I know with the spots and just with the timing of how and the pacing of the match, you know, they have to account for, which is totally understandable. Like I said, Keiji Muto, he's not a young guy anymore. Can't do a lot of the stuff he used to, but he still has that quickness, still has that quick step when he can dish it out. But it was definitely back and forth. But sure enough, Rainmaker, the champ, was able to take out Kiyomiya Kaito with a Rainmaker for the 1-2-3. And Team New Japan in the main event takes the victory. But this was quite a great show. So if we tally up, so New Japan has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 victories. And of course, 6 victories in the draw. Pro Wrestling Noah had 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4. Only 4 victories. So it's like New Japan Pro Wrestling won this promotional showdown special for Wrestle Kingdom 16. It was great. Overall, it was great. It was good to see both of these promotions showcased. And who knows, maybe going forward, we'll see them collaborate more. You know what I mean? They may do like maybe a yearly thing or a quarterly. It could happen. Could definitely happen. But this was great. But thankfully, finally got around to doing this video. But yeah, Wrestle Kingdom 16 is in the books. A good Wrestle Kingdom 16. A good Wrestle Kingdom for the year. And I was happy. I was pretty satisfied. I can't say it was bad or anything like that. I thought it was good. 3 nights of Wrestle Kingdom action. Can't complain. Anyway, that's it for this video. Let me know what y'all thought of Wrestle Kingdom 16. Not just Night 3 in Yokohama Arena, but the entire event as a whole. What did y'all think of this year's Wrestle Kingdom? Like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you catch every video. And thank you so much for watching. Hope everybody has a blessed weekend and stays warm. I know it's been snowing in some areas, so stay warm, stay blessed. This has been another Pro Wrestling Talk video brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. Take care, everybody, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.